So GPT-5 Pro is insane. It's the most powerful AI model in the world, and it can build essentially anything. Now, what even is GPT-5 Pro? It's the best version of the GPT-5 series of models. Believe it or not, GPT-5 Pro has genius level IQ. It literally scored 148 points on the Mensa Norway quiz. In fact, this model is so powerful that it can help you launch a profitable AI business from scratch, which is exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. Now, GPT-5 does have a major problem. Most of the GPT-5 models are not that good because OpenAI was trying to save some costs. GPT-5 Pro is the only exception. This is the only model I personally use from the GPT-5 family, and it's great at coding, decision making, reasoning, business, problem solving, anything that involves logic really. So in this video, I'll show you whether GPT-5 Pro is worth $200 a month, how it compares to tools like Claude Code or Cursor, and how to complete a real $2,000 Upwork listing from scratch using GPT-5 Pro to do all of the coding for you. Now, this model allows you to have genius level intelligence at your fingertips, which sounds good on the paper, but if you think about it, AI is quickly becoming pay to win, which means if you're not willing to pay $200 a month, you do not have access to the highest reasoning effort. And soon enough, that might be $500 a month or $1,000 a month. This will inevitably create a massive divide between the people who can afford the cutting edge AI models and everyone else. So the brutal truth is that you have between 6 to 18 months to get your money up so that you can comfortably afford these cutting edge AI models no matter what the cost is, which ironically will help you make even more money. Now, when GPT-5 Pro runs, it was built to think of every possible solution, and that's thanks to parallel test time compute. This means that GPT-5 Pro runs multiple reasoning chains at once for each prompt or question you send it. So instead of thinking through one possible answer, like most LLMs do, GPT-5 Pro explores several possible ways to solve your problem all at once. So here is the plan. We will find an Upwork listing worth at least $2,000. Using GPT-5 Pro, we will build the project from the listing from scratch, and at the end of the video, I'll show you how you can repeat this process many times to start your own AI business with just a few hours a week. And no, you don't have to be a programmer to do this. So let's get to building. Now, if you actually want to build a profitable business with AI, you have to understand this one thing, and that there is no secret. I'm not going to give you any secret in this video. Instead, I'm going to teach you a skill set, how to use tools like GPT-5 Pro to solve any problem and turn that into a side income. So here is a Upwork listing that I found. This is a $2,000 listing, senior AI voice agent, right? So we need to figure out what to use for the AI agent. And then the biggest second part is the RAG. So basically they want to talk with an AI agent via voice, speech to speech, and they want to have use retrieval augmented generation, also known as RAG, with some custom documents, custom data. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy the description. I'm going to switch to ChatGPT Pro. In the model selector, I activated GPT-5 Pro. I'm going to do scope. XML tags are great for targeting the model, right? This is a really good prompt engineering tip. I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to end it with /scope. That way, it's not confused where it starts, where it ends. The XML tags clearly show that. So for the voice AI agent, the best solution right now, at least, I think is the real-time API from OpenAI. And we can implement either RTC or WebSockets, but I'm going to leave that decision to GPT-5 Pro. So I'm going to just copy this page. Your task is to help me figure out how to build this project as quickly and efficiently as possible. It is important to follow the scope, but it's also important that you do not overthink this project. Boom, there we go. Right now, if I just send this, that would be problematic. We still need to give it a bit more direction. What's the next step, right? And I would say is to lay out the structure of this project. So output a clean 5-step plan for building this project. So as you can see, the strategy for prompting GPT-5 Pro very, very different than from prompting any other model, to be honest. Why? Because GPT-5 Pro runs for a long time. It can reason for 10 plus minutes. So you want to put in the time in the prompt, because if you mess up, then you have to wait until it outputs to send another prompt. So I'm going to send it. And in the meantime, I'm not going to waste my time just chilling and scrolling Twitter. Instead, I'm going to open up Cursor and we're going to create a project structure. So let me open an empty folder. Boom. There we go. And for the model, for the spirit of the video, I'm going to use GPT-5. But anyways, GPT-5 Pro has finished reasoning and we have an answer. It took 3 minutes, 16 seconds. So this one wasn't as bad, but let's see what it said. Use WebRTC. Okay, so it's going to be WebRTC. So what I'm going to do, jump back into Cursor and let's create a markdown file. Boom, new file, just main.mdc. This is like a Cursor markdown style. And actually, I'm going to create a folder to do this. .cursor/rules, and I'm going to move this into this folder. And that's how you do context engineering within Cursor, right? So this is a main file, so I want it to be applied always. Boom. this we need to have in the main file. There we go. But let's look at the first step, right? Scaffold and intra. So we're going to use Next.js with app router for the UI. So this is our front end, and for backend, Python fast API. But maybe we can even simplify this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say create first draft. Now think hard whether we can somehow simplify this plan. This project is not simple, but it's not complicated. So let's not over-engineer this. I don't want to show you just a single implementation because let's be honest, whoever watches this video first is going to just take my implementation and snipe it. But that's not the point, right? There is thousands of listings that are worth thousands of dollars that you can build with GPT-5 Pro. And if you watch until the end, the promise I can make is that you will have the skill set to do these 4-figure listings on the side and launch multiple sources of income, right? But in the meantime, let's do some progress, right? Actually, let's go into cursor. Let's see how it cleaned up. So very nice. Look at this. Formatting is much nicer, so I'm going to keep this. And something we should do with any project is create a new GitHub project. And we should connect this to actual repo. So boom, if you don't have GitHub account, you must have it. So I'm going to name this AI Voice RAG. I know, very descriptive name. So let's create this repo. And then all we need to do is copy this link, right? Boom. Let's switch back into cursor. Your task is to help me connect this project to a new GitHub repo. Give me the steps how to do this. Boom. Then I'm going to do Command J to open a terminal. So let's see. So we can skip the first command and then we do git init to initialize the Git repository. Boom. There we go. You can see on the right, the files are now unstaged. Then we do git add dot. This stages all of the files. So if we switch into this icon, you can see that the changes have moved from changes to staged changes. So they're ready to be committed now. So then we need to do git commit and write a commit message. I'm going to do the very first commit. So now we have created this commit, but we need to push it to remote. But since this is the first time, we need to set up the main branch because GitHub needs to know which branch is main, right? So that is git branch -M and main. Then this is the main command, the git remote add and the URL, right? So this is the URL to our specific repository. Git remote add origin, boom. There we go. And then git push and -u. This sets up upstream tracking so that in the future I can just do git push without typing this whole thing. And boom, there we go. Now, if I refresh here, I should see our main.mdc. There we go. Cursor rules folder, and we should see the only file we have. Beautiful. So now, when we make progress, we don't have to worry about AI messing it up, because we can do a commit after each change, right? So that's that. This is very important, especially if you want to sell it to the company, right? No business is going to accept your code as a Google Drive link. You need to share them a repository, all the file structure, all dependencies, history of commits. Let's see if we have a response. So it did simplify the plan. Very nice. So I'm going to copy the simplified plan, and then I can go into cursor, and again, using GPT-5 Fast, I'm going to do remove the current 5-step plan from main.mdc. Let's tag the file and replace it with this simpler plan. Boom. So while this is running, let's begin on the first thing. So what we need to do, monolith scaffold. So this is going to be our first implementation, and I'm going to just ask it to focus on the first step, right? So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to say, great job. I like this simpler plan. Now your task is to help me fully execute the first stage. Boom. I'm going to remind it of the first step. And then I'm going to say, take a deep breath and proceed like a senior developer would. I want you to give me the full execution of the first step, which means the complete file structure, show me the file tree, and as well as the full code for each of the files for the first step. Over-engineering is perhaps the biggest danger we can do. So let's keep it to a quick and dirty prototype. Okay, so again, I'm using my voice to prompt engineer faster. Boom. And notice the previous prompts were more like planning. Now it's execution. But now the real fun begins. Now we're actually building the project. So let me accept this simple plan. Looks great. And then what I'm going to do is say, great job. Let's stage this file and push to GitHub. There we go. So it did everything here. We should see 2 comments right here. There we go. So now we can use cursor agent, the chat agent, to do the commits for us. So I don't have to type the commit message of what was changed. Since it will know that, it will save us time, right? Okay, so GPT-5 Pro has finished reasoning and we have the first stage entirely done. So what we're gonna do is scroll to the bottom, copy this whole thing, and I'm gonna say, your task is to implement the following stage 1 into our code base. Okay, and then I'm gonna do stage 1, XML tags, paste the whole thing in, close the stage 1, boom. Most of these, I think, cursor agent can do for us. So let's see. We're going to use GPT-5 Fast for this. Let's launch it. And again, the beauty of this business model is that you only have to complete like 4 or 5 of these jobs a month to reach $10,000 a month, which is just incredible. I mean, it has never been easier to start making money with AI. And by the way, what I'm showing you in this video is just a taste, it's just a sneak peek of what we have in the New Society classroom. In this workshop right here, you'll learn step by step how to start your AI business, how to get the first paid client, how to start taking on bigger projects, getting more leads, building predictable revenue, and scaling to $10,000 a month and beyond. There are hundreds of people in the New Society who have made their first dollars with AI. In fact, I'm so confident in this business model that if you follow these steps and you don't make any money within 6 weeks, I'll personally refund you your money back. No questions asked. So if you're serious about AI and want to start your own AI business, click the link below the video and join today. Alright, let's jump back into Cursor. Let's see what was done. So we have a new folder right here with the file structure. Pretty simple. Let's see. So we have 5 new files created. Okay. And then we need to install the requirements to run it locally. Let's see if there's any manual step in the first stage that we have to do ourselves that Cursor cannot do for us. So after big changes, you always should push to GitHub. So I'm going to say stage all files and push to GitHub. We can review the changes, but I don't think that's necessary. We can see that some of these dependencies are underlined. That's because we don't have them installed in our Conda environment. So I'm going to do Conda env list. And actually, I'm going to create a new environment for this. And you know what? I'm going to show you again how to problem solve, right? So I'm going to say list out all of my Conda envs. Do not do anything else. And then, assuming you've never created a new Conda environment, you can just ask, how do I create a new Conda env? Let's name it upwork and use Python 3.12. Actually, do we have a, let's match that with okay, 3.11. So yeah, we need to match that with GPT-5 Pro. Tell me what to do step by step. Answer, just answer, okay? Answer in short. Boom. And in the meantime, we can actually get GPT-5 Pro started on the next stage, which is stage number 2, docs plus rag. And what should I do? One thing, I'll use repo prompt. This is a great tool for, because, you know, the problem is that GPT-5 Pro is available inside of ChatGPT. So we have to copy paste it. That's inefficient. With repo prompt, we can load up this folder, boom, code, and here's our repo with everything, right? So I can just select the whole thing and I can say, I've completed stage 1. Your next task is to help me fully execute stage 2. I'm gonna paste it in here as well. Boom. This is the step, docs plus rag. Let's see if we need to do any web search for this. Store uploads under extract. No, this seems pretty simple. I mean, I don't know how to do it, but pretty simple for GPT-5 Pro, you know, the smartest AI model in the world. I'll say, take a deep breath and proceed like a senior developer would. Make sure to complete stage 2 fully and completely. Do not do anything else. Output all of the code files in full and give me clear and concise instructions on what to do. Okay, so now we can see at the bottom, this is 3,600 tokens, that's nothing. So I'm gonna copy our entire code base and we're gonna go back into ChatGPT-5 Pro. Let's go at the bottom, I'm gonna paste it in. And now it's gonna work on stage 2 with the context of stage 1 being completed. So repo prompt allows us to load in the entire file structure, the entire code base into a single prompt and send that to GPT-5 Pro, which again is necessary because OpenAI has only made it available inside of ChatGPT. So let's fix this issue of dependencies being underlined by creating a new Conda environment. I'm gonna name it Upwork because this is the business model we're doing, you know, just claiming Upwork listings with the most powerful model in the world. And again, there's only so much time before this strategy gets saturated. Like same with dropshipping, same with TikTok shop. Every single business model gets saturated sooner or later. So realistically, in about 6 months, everybody will know about this, and the amount of people doing this will be 100x more than it is now. So if you are looking for an opportunity, do not wait. We are still very early to AI, and not many people know that models like GPT-5 Pro even exist, let alone how good they are. So if you want to start on this strat, start today. Anyways, so we've created the environment. Next up, we need to do Conda activate Upwork to activate the environment. And then we just double check the version. Python-version should say 3.11. There we go. Beautiful. So inside of Cursor or VS Code, it doesn't matter what code editor you're using. Below my webcam, right here, you can see the version. That's because this is not activated. So we need to activate the Upwork environment. Let's type in Upwork. Boom. And this is the Python interpreter. And once we run the pip install requirements, this should disappear. So let's open the terminal, Command J again. And actually, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's do the easier way. I'm just going to tell the agent to do that. Okay, I've done this and I activated the Conda environment. Open up a terminal, make sure this Upwork environment is active, and then install the requirements.txt. Everything that you need to do, you can get the AI to do. All you need is initiative. If you have initiative and if you have a bit of intelligence to problem solve, You can use AI to learn anything, to solve any error, to build, to scale your business, right? All you need to do is ask the right questions and keep working. Do not quit. As long as you don't give up at the first error, you're going to be fine. So let's see, we install the requirements and there you go. The dependencies are no longer underlined, which means we've solved that issue. Let's see how GPT-5, okay, it's still reasoning, it's still thinking, that's fine. In the meantime, we can actually check if we've done everything from stage 1. So I'm gonna scroll back up. And actually okay, this is an idea I just got right now for organization because scrolling is inefficient. I'm gonna create a new folder. And actually, no, we can put it in the rules folder. I'm gonna create a new file. I'm gonna do answer-01md, not MDC. And this is gonna be just the answer from ChatGPT, so we can easily reference it. I'm gonna tag it read answer-01. Is there anything else we have to do manually? Or is it fully completed? Think hard, answer in short. Boom. There we go. Let's see at the bottom. Okay, GPT-5 Pro is still reasoning. It's fully completed. Okay, what about the .env file? Because we have an env example and we might need to add the OpenAI API key. Surely I have to provide the OpenAI API key myself. Read the .env file. I think Cursor actually doesn't have access to this. You can see it's disabled in Cursor ignore. Okay, I need to stop it, I need to provide it. Here's what it looks like. Yeah, so this is one thing for security reasons. Cursor doesn't have access to env files, which is good. It's a good security practice. But you just have to know it as a beginner, and you have to realize, okay, we'll have to provide it. And if you need to show it, you need to paste it in, right? Now, since this is an example file, we need to create an actual env file. So I'm just going to copy paste it and rename it to .env. Delete everything after. There is nothing after. The main env file is .env. And the only thing we need to get is the OpenAI API key, which is super simple. So just type in OpenAI API key into Google, click the first link. This is going to take you to OpenAI platform. Here you need to log in with the same account you use for ChatGPT. There we go, I'm logged in. So on the left, click on API keys, then create new secret key. I'm going to name it Upwork business model. Boom, create secret key. Copy. Do not share your API keys with anybody, okay? Keep them private, treat them as passwords. I'm going to delete my key before uploading this video. It's a very important security practice. And do not commit them, right? This is very important. We could say, I created this .env file. Make sure our git ignore properly ignores it. Okay? You cannot commit them to GitHub. This is one of the biggest mistakes beginners make, is they commit their env files into GitHub. And if it's a public repo, anybody can access it and use your API key and steal your credits, right? And lose your money. So let's see, I'm verifying whether env is both. So we can actually open git ignore and we have it in here. Beautiful. So on the staging on the right, even though we created a new file, it's not in the changes. So it is being ignored. So we can safely do a commit. Say, good work, let's do another GitHub push documenting this. So even though this will be not saved, I want to do a push because we have some changes. We created the markdown file that the answer is 1 complete. And actually, I'm going to be more specific. I'll say that the first stage of main has been completed. So we want to document that. And as for these, those should be fine. What we can actually do is double check what the model should be. And actually, we're probably using it from the official docs, so that should be fine. Need a model 25. Yeah, this is the official. Okay, just a quick double check. It never hurts to check the docs. That's fine. So there we go. Git push. So what's the issue? Push the doc. You need to be in the root folder. So the problem is that it was in the AI dental voice folder. So that's whatever. Small thing. There we go. So now we're squeezing GPT-5 Pro. You can see the reasoning time is going up, which means more and more compute is going towards our project, right? There we go. So what I'm going to do is scroll all the way to the bottom again. And I'm going to copy it, jump back into Cursor, and then create a new folder. New file in this folder. Answer-02.md. Boom. Paste it in. 750 lines. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to say, next, I need you to fully implement the following changes for stage 2. Do not rewrite any of the code. Just implement the following files exactly as they are. Boom, I'm gonna do stage 2, paste it in, very long prompt, stage 2, I'll say, take a deep breath and proceed like a senior developer would. Implementing these steps properly and exactly as they are. Do not change anything, do not do anything else. There we go. So now Cursor is gonna execute and implement whatever GPT-5 Pro suggested. We might need to add some stuff. Okay, embedding model, we need to add this to our env file. I'm just gonna copy this. Boom, add it below right here. Save that. Let's see, let's scroll back up, just quickly take a look at it. So here we have some new code files fully implemented. Cursor is just gonna actually edit our code base, right? So it's not gonna change anything because this is the most powerful AI model. We don't want these to be regenerated. We have updated file tree, so we need some new files here. Okay, beautiful, clearly documented. And yeah, that should be it. So copy your env to env, set up API key. We need to run this again. We need to start our backend. We need to open up the localhost. That would be interesting. So let's do that. Okay, so I can do the terminal with Command J. Let's reinstall the requirements.txt again. Boom. We don't have, okay, we need to first cd into this folder. So the way to do that, you can do ls to see all your folders, right, in that directory, and do cd AI dental voice. Boom, then we can see now we are in this folder. Beautiful. So I'm going to clear the terminal again, and I'm going to run it again. Because we don't have the requirements.txt in the root. We have it in this folder, right? So that was the issue. What do we need to do next? We need to start the UVicorn server, which is just a way of starting a fast API service. Let's start it. There we go. We have a bit of lag, but there it is. And it's running on this URL, and we have an error. No module name NumPy. So I'm gonna kill the server with Control C. We'll figure out what happens once the cursor agent finishes implementing things. So we need NumPy where? Let's do NumPy. Okay, there it is. Embedded text. Okay, so maybe for the rack. Interesting. We'll see. We'll fix that, no problem. In the meantime, let's see what we need to do. We need to run the Docker for a phase. This is the RAG library we're using. Okay, so to be super efficient, we should honestly get started on stage 3 here. We're gonna solve the small bugs inside of Cursor that's faster because it doesn't do as much reasoning as GPT-5 Pro. So Cursor has implemented everything. Let's see what's happening. So it created new files, made some edits, some changes. env example, okay. Edit app rag. Okay, so we need to install dependencies again. So let's press up a few times. There we go. Oh, there it is. NumPy is being installed. Okay. So yeah, I just ran that command a bit too early. So now if we start the UVicorn, we should have the app working. So we can go to this URL. Let's see what happens. Okay, here we have our app. The voice agent is here. Start. Okay, so OpenAI API key is not set, even though it is. Let's check that. It is set. Maybe it's not being properly referencing. Whatever, we're gonna debug this. I just wanna get started on the stage 3. So again, repo prompt, I'm gonna refresh so everything is loaded. I'm gonna load the entire code base. Now it's 15,000 tokens, so it's growing. And I'll say I've completed stage 2. Your next step is to complete stage 3. Boom. Here's the stage 3 voice agent wiring. And actually for this, what would be good is to get the latest docs again from OpenAI docs. Let's copy that. I'm gonna say OpenAI docs. Boom, paste it in. / OpenAI docs. We could actually even add it to our code base. Maybe that's better. Boom, new file. I'm do real-time API.md. Just paste the docs in here. And now we can easily tag it. We can delete it from our prompt here because we're going to tag it as a file. Okay, so let's again refresh. In the cursor rules folder, let's select this as well. There we go. I'm going to say, take a deep breath and proceed like a senior developer would. Output all of the files, all of the code files in full, and give me step-by-step instructions on what to do. Let's copy that as a full prompt, 20,000 tokens. Back into ChatGPT, paste that in. In the meantime, let's begin debugging some of our issues. So we can actually keep all. We don't have to click through it. But yeah, so we get an error here. We get an error, internal server error. Now we have the error message that is not looking at the OpenAI API key. So I'm going to say when I click start, I get this error. Okay. I'm also copy the terminal. Also, here's the terminal output. Explain to me why this error is happening, and then analyze the 3 most closely related files and propose to me a simple and clear theory as to what is causing this error and how to fix it. Do not do anything else, just answer in short. And actually, in the meantime, we should probably commit the stage 2 to GitHub, so I'm going to show how to do that. So first we do git add dot to stage all the files. Let's double check there is nothing sensitive. No, we should be filed. Maybe the Docker file is questionable. Whatever. Let's do git commit.m stage 2 completed and git push. Very simple. We don't have to use AI for that. We can do it while the agent is responding. Okay, so our server was started before the env was loaded. Wow, okay. Let's kill the server and let's restart it. In the main, I'm gonna do a server start command, just document it in here. So we have it. That's how you build your internal docs. Let's reload this. Connection disconnected, start. Connecting. Okay, there we have it. Allow microphone. So allow while visiting this site. Test, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you hear me?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Okay, so it's responding.
Claro, tómate tu tiempo. Aquí estoy cuando me necesites.
Can you speak in English?
Of course, I can definitely speak to you in English. What would you like to talk about?
Perfect, so tell me who you are.
Sure, I'm an AI assistant, here to help you out with information, answer questions, or just have a friendly chat. Let me know what you need, and I'll...
Amazing, so the voice-to-voice agent works, right? Now, of course, this UI could be better, but we're not focused on fancy UI. Anybody can do that. You can build a fancy UI with like 2 prompts in Lovable, right? It's not impressive anymore. What's impressive is building working full-stack apps that actually solve a real problem, such as this problem, which is, for this company, is worth $2,000, right? And again, we have a voice-to-voice agent. This is already way better. You cannot build this in any vibe coding app, right? But you can easily build this with GPT-5 Pro. So let's test the documents, right? Is the document upload working? Or is that, actually that's the next step, right? Voice agent varying. I mean, this already works. This already works. So I'm gonna say read main and tell me what's left, because the speech to speech already works. Does the agent have access to the docs we upload, or is that just empty UI in the front end? Think hard, answer in short. Let's see. So in the meantime, we can actually test it, to be honest. So what I'm gonna do, okay, GPT-5 Pro visual reasoning, I'm gonna get a PDF and upload it here, right? So boom. Let me see if we can drag it over. We can, beautiful. So this is the GPT-5 system card. GPT-5 system card. Let's do upload and index. Will this work? Okay, the UI is a bit clanky. Let's see. Done, left. Wire the voice agent to RAG. Okay, so this is still hasn't been done. So okay, beautiful. So voice-to-voice agent works. Obviously, again, the UI is not clean, but it works, guys. That's the main thing. We can clean up UI easy. That's the easiest part, right? AI models are amazing at front end. The real part is like building a full stack app that actually works. That's the hard part. And we have a voice-to-voice agent using OpenAI real-time API, and we're about to add the RAG now. GPT-5 Pro is cooking, amazing. So what can we do here in the meantime? Maybe we can clean up the UI. I mean, to be honest, I like this minimalist UI. It's almost like, I predict there's going to be a meta of reversing to the previous, the previous simpler UIs. Like everybody's doing these gradients and all that stuff. I think people are tired of that. People can spot an AI-generated user interface fast. So I predict more and more apps will have simpler UIs. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my prediction. We have the document here. We see the file. So it is uploaded. It is indexed into 89 chunks using the phase library. We can actually do RAG search as well. So let's do tell me about GPT-5 Thinking Pro. I think that's the name. Rad model, search. Let's see if the search works. Oh, it works. Look at it. GPT-5 system card, chunk 57. Okay, let's do thinking. There we have it. We have the thinking references. Okay. So this is what vector databases are all about, you know? I asked about GPT-5 Thinking Pro, and it's finding the chunks that are the closest semantically to this, right? So here we have a reference of GPT-5 Thinking Pro. And yeah, we have another one right here. Beautiful. Amazing. So we have working RAG in this app on top of the voice-to-voice. We just need to connect them together. That's the next stage. That's what GPT-5 Pro is working on. And you can see, guys, this didn't take a week. Like, I'm literally building this for like a bit over an hour, and we have something that, if you did this manually, would take you many days, assuming you know what to do, right? If you don't know what to do, it would take you multiple weeks. But thanks to using the most powerful AI model in the world, GPT-5 Pro, you can actually build these full-stack projects, even if you've never used these before, right? I've never built this project before. I have no clue how to build a senior AI voice agent with RAG knowledge database for dental. I have no clue, but I can ask the smartest AI in the world, and I can build it. And again, this is worth $2,000. And as I said, it has never been easier to get to $10,000 a month with AI. Forget about starting an agency and doing all these mainstream models. This is the real untapped opportunity. Using the most powerful coding agent in the world to deliver these medium level projects. I mean, these are not simple, but they're not complex either, right? So medium difficulty projects, and just build them as a side thing, as a side hustle, and deliver them to the client, right? It's pretty incredible what time we live in. And there we go. So GPT-5 Pro reasoned for 8 minutes. Notice how the time is slowly increasing as the complexity is increasing. And that is stage 3. So in our classic fashion, let's go to the bottom, click this button, copy it, boom, cursor, new file, answer-o3.md, boom, paste it in. I'm gonna say, next, your task is to fully implement the contents of answer O3 into our actual code base. Proceed like a senior developer would. Boom. Let's switch back to ChatGPT, see what we need to implement ourselves, because there's always something that AI cannot do. Seems like we need to, again, reinstall the requirements.txt. That's fine. We are already used to that. And we should be good. We don't even need to start the Docker. Real-time accuracy with ephemeral tokens is recommended browser pattern. Okay. So let's see how cursor is proceeding. Okay, it's currently going to replace some of the files, make some of the code changes. Man, I'm telling you guys, this is an untapped opportunity. I'm not just speaking out of my ass. This is a reason why I chose this business model in the new society, right? I've seen people try hundreds of different things, and some of them are way too difficult. Some of them, it's hard to make money. This one is the perfect balance, right? Again, it won't take you one day, but in the matter of 6 weeks, you can go through this workshop. You can focus on setting up your tech stack in week 1. In week 2, getting your first paid client. In week 3, learning how to do bigger projects. And again, for all of these, using GPT-5 Pro to help you get unstuck. You don't have to be a programmer. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't need any previous business experience. All you need to do is have a few hours a day to follow these steps. If you follow these steps, you will see results. And again, if you don't, I'll personally give you the money back, no questions asked. That's how confident I am in this business model. It really is amazing what you can do in 2025 with AI. And it has never been easier to start a business with AI. Yet so few people are taking advantage of it. Perhaps that is the saddest part. Most people are not doing nothing. I mean, we have literally genius IQ level AI models, and most people are still not doing anything about it, which I guess that's just human nature. I don't know. Anyways, let's see if cursor is struggling or if it finished. It finished, okay. So then let's reinstall requirements.txt, boom. Open up the terminal, Command J. I'm gonna kill the server with Control C, clear. Reinstall this guy, everything has been installed already. And then we run our command to load the env file as well. uvicorn command, boom. There we go, and what else? Nothing, we just need to refresh the server. So let's do that, reload the server. We need to, okay, we have the file already indexed, that's beautiful. So we can start asking questions about it probably. Let's see if this works, okay? Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. What's up?
Do you see the PDF document I attached?
I don't see any PDF document right now. Could you try re-uploading it or describing what's in it? I'd be happy to help either way.
Okay, I'm uploading it right now. I just uploaded it. Check your tools. Do you have access to it?
I still don't see anything on my end. Maybe the upload didn't go through? Could you double check and try sending it again? Or just give me a quick summary of what you need help with from the document. I'll do my best to assist.
Listen, do you see the GPT-5 system card?
I don't have visual access to any system card or document right now.
Yeah, so that's the last missing piece, connecting the voice agent to the RAG, because both of them work separately, right? We've seen the RAG work perfectly. We've seen the voice agent work. The way I would solve that is with Perplexity, right? So what I would do is I would say, I would probably copy this. I'm going to say app, boom, app. I've toggled on the deep research and I say, I have built this entire app. I have the OpenAI real-time API working. The AI voice agent can successfully do speech-to-speech, and also the RAG is working. The last remaining piece is figuring out how I can connect the PDF files and documents to the OpenAI real-time API. How I can feed in these documents to the AI agent that is running with the real-time API. Browse the web and give me a detailed step-by-step instructions how to do this. Now again, we can use GPT-5 Pro, and we will. The reason I'm doing a Perplexity deep research is because I want to have the latest documentation for this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed that into GPT-5 Pro and fix this one last piece, because that's all that remains. And again, in the repo prompt, we should refresh. Boom, let's select the whole code base, 27,000 tokens now. I'm going to say, everything is working, the speech-to-speech functionality works, and the RAG, I can also ask questions with the RAG. The last missing piece is making sure that the AI voice agent has access to the documents, that it can actually reference them when I'm talking with it. Below is the official documentation that you need to follow. Boom, I'm gonna give it the docs, and that's gonna be the output of the Perplexity deep research. There we are. So this is checking lots of different sites. Okay, it's gonna be like this. Paste it in there. Your task is to analyze the entire code base, find where the issue is, and fix it so that the voice agent, during the speech-to-speech conversation, can successfully reference any of the attached documents and talk about them. Make sure to output all of the updated code files in full, and then tell me step by step what to do. All right, so the prompt is prepared. We just need to paste in the docs. So Perplexity deep research is searching all the docs, and you see this is exactly the process. Like if you get stuck at anything, just do a Perplexity search or even ChatGPT deep research, doesn't matter, and then use GPT-5 Pro to solve that problem. If it's a smaller problem, it's faster to just solve it inside of Cursor, right? But for anything like you're struggling with, anything you get stuck, throw it in GPT-5 Pro and it solves it. It's that powerful. This is the most powerful reasoning model in the world. That, it runs 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but it's worth it. It's worth it waiting that. So I'm going to copy this, boom, repo prompt, paste it inside, copy the whole thing, 29,000 tokens, switch back to GPT-5 Pro, send it in, and in about 5 to 10 minutes, I'll have a response, and I'll have this MVP of this app fully completed. And again, we can clean up the front end. I have dozens of videos that show that. That's the easy part. What I want to show you is the problem-solving part, the hard skills, right? Using real-time API, which personally I've never built with this before, right? I don't know. I'm just feed it into GPT-5 Pro. It built it for me. This listing was created a few hours ago. So again, I've had no way of preparing for this. But as you can see, I have the problem-solving skill set. I can use the AI to solve anything, and I really believe that. There is no problem cannot be solved. Sometimes it might take breaking it down to smaller steps and working in stages, but it doesn't matter. With AI, you can solve anything, and you can absolutely build a side hustle, AI business that is like a multiple sources of income for you if you already have a job, or it's just a side hustle that you can upkeep with a few hours per week. It's up to you, but you can absolutely do it, especially with the help of the best, most powerful AI reasoning model in the world. And hopefully this video shows as a proof of that. All you need to do is solve skills, clearly describe the error you're facing, clearly describe the problem, and use the tools that are already available. Guys, GPT-5 Pro, Cursor, Perplexity, Vectel, all of these tools already exist. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just need to apply them. And that's why I structured it into this workshop, into the 6-week program, so that you literally don't even have to think. You can just follow these steps. If you get stuck, ask GPT-5 Pro, do a perplexity search, and proceed like that. So again, if you're serious about AI, make sure to join the new society. In here, you'll learn step by step how to build your first AI business and scale it to $10,000 a month, even if you're a complete beginner. It's going to be the first link in the video. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you want more videos on GPT-5 Pro. It's a very powerful model. And I wish you a wonderful, productive week. See ya.